that look like us. You can't make light of that. That ain't nothing you breeze over.
I haven't even finished the sentence. How am I making light of anything?
You started with some bullshit.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Small window. Right now, the black vote is the most important vote in the country.
I'm not gonna let you do this on me. Sorry. It's really so stupid. Oh, come on. This is torture. Just gotta let it out. Just gotta let it out.
Let me finish. The biggest issue facing black America is not white supremacy.
We're coming right back.
The statue should be torn down, okay? Other people came there because they were upset that amongst the people that came there to watch the statue be torn down were also white nationalists. So what he meant was there were some people that were just there using their First Amendment right. There were some people that were there to respond to the white nationalists, and a big mess happened.
Kevin, what? What is that? What? I'm sorry. It's that funny, right? I mean, what? I'm sorry. Do you have any comments at all?
What just happened?
Please, I have a question. When you say make America great again, which period are we talking about? The period when women couldn't vote? The period when we were hanging from trees?
I'll answer.
Or like the crack era? Which period in America are you trying to make America like?
I actually think that I would totally rock a hat right now that said make Black America great again. Because Black America...
Period was America great that we're trying to replicate? Which era was it? Tell me.
I think I'll answer your question.
I'm
ready to answer your question.
Which era was it?
What?
I'm sorry. Come on. We want to apologize. Hold on.
America was actually one of the slavery was all over the world. All over the world. America was, I'm not saying it's okay, so why are you saying, oh?
Hey, man.
America was one of the first countries.
I want to like you so bad.
You're a bulldog. All right. Alrighty. What we should do now is have a look at the faxes. Why don't you go first? No, go on, you go first.
No, I'm having a sulk now.
No, go on. Are you all right? Well, unfortunately, my eyes have watered up a bit.
Created
You know, I'm gone, man. Crime bill. They created you the fakest nigga I ever seen in my life. They created the crime bill. I see you in person. They created the crime bill. They created what you said. They created. I'm done, bro. You a fake nigga. I hope everybody see that. I appreciate it. Fake, bro. I'm gonna expose you to everybody. When I see you, nigga, we gonna be. It's gonna be on. I want you to know that. Because you call me on the phone and you saying all this, and then you get on the live stream and you playing this shit. You should be ashamed of yourself. Is that black on black crime? Is that black on black crime? You's a bitch. I told you. Everybody on your live stream know you's a bitch. And when I see you, I'm whooping your ass. Everybody got your live stream. I like it. You want to be hood, nigga? You want to be hood? You on the phone talking shit to me, and you call me and saying you apologize? Yeah, nigga. I never apologized. You apologize? I never apologized. You didn't apologize. My wife listened to you, nigga. I never apologized. What I said was, bitch, nigga. That's what I said. Let's wrap this up.
So the brother you heard who was cussing another brother out, that's Brandon Tatum. Very close with Candace Owens. Used to work with Turning Point USA and Charlie Kirk. Frequent visitor to the White House. Loves himself some Donald Trump. And that's how they were talking amongst black conservatives. See, so what happened is the brother who was in the top corner, I think he'd go by Hotep Jesus. Okay, that's what he goes by. So he basically was saying, Brandon, why y'all parroting white conservatives? How is it that you're giving them the talking points? And see, that's really what we're seeing a lot of, Reese. You got these people who are Trump supporters, like a Tatum. Candace Owens came out of Twitter jail, just blasting away, basically saying, y'all don't say nothing about black on black violence. Y'all don't care about black people. Now y'all are mad. She was the first one trying to say Ahmaud Arbery was out there thieving. And trust me, the white conservatives are sitting there loving it. See, if you want to know how to game, just go to Brandon's YouTube channel. His videos, they show you'll see. Giving that money. Yeah. Giving that money. And that's what I'm trying to explain to people when we expose these folks for who they are. Okay? I know a whole bunch of black conservatives who are third and fourth and fifth generation black Republicans. These folks are Trump grifters. Not everybody in that video, but folks like Brandon Tatum, that's what you're dealing with. Folks like him, what you're dealing with is they have come of age in this Trump. You got Lawrence Jones up there. You see him running his mouth on Fox News. He be saying some nonsense as well. The sister we tried to Okafor, we invited her on the show. We couldn't reach her. But the bottom line is here. I've had different people on here, like this dude, R.C. Maxwell, whatever the hell his name is, out there, his usual, they nonsense. You call it what it is, and they're the ones who are claiming, they're leading black people out of the Democratic Party. Well, if you following a fool like Brandon Tatum, you can be going over a cliff.
Right. I mean, I don't know any of these people, to be frank with you. I've never heard of them. I don't know them. But I don't like what I see from that clip. And I watched some of their discussion. I was disgusted watching it. My husband has a saying. He says that some black people, I'm going to put the some in front of it, but some black people are the foot soldiers of white supremacy. And that's what these Trump conservative grifters are. When you perpetuate these stereotypes, when you sit up there and regurgitate these talking points to try to criminalize an innocent black man who was doing absolutely nothing wrong, it's disgusting. And the way that Brandon turned up in that video, there are white folks that would shoot his ass for doing that much, okay? And so, they want to parrot these things about, you have to, conduct yourself a certain way. And look how he was turning up and N-word this and N-word that. It's ridiculous. If he had come across some of these white folks that they were defending, his ass would be shot dead, just like all these other black people that they have absolutely no compassion for, who did far less than what he did in that video.
You put your head down, Greg.
Brother, that's 3 minutes of my life I'm not going to get back. Daniel Dresner wrote a book a couple of years ago called The Ideas Industry. And he talks about how over the last generation or so, what we've shifted from is the idea of public intellectuals. On the white side, you might think of a Daniel Patrick Moynihan. On the black side, you might think of a Wyatt T. Walker or a Paulie Murray or Dorothy Cotton or, you name it, or Ron Walters. People who are informing policymakers, or in terms of social movements, let's expend it to an Ella Jo Baker or a Septima Clark, informing social movements. He says we've shifted from that to what they call thought leaders. Well, that's not that, meaning people who generate clicks, clickbait generators, eyeball attractors. They're not really impacting policy if they're unattached to institutions. So now you see people like the whole Fox network crew, Sean Hannity, thought leader, meaning what? He is supported and subsidized by a media institution that allows him to spew his nonsense, and then people do act on that, including at this point the President of the United States. What we just witnessed is the convergence of the thought leader move in our society with the explosion of social media. The reason we don't know any of these people, or the reason you keep track of them, because you have to. You're helping us filter this stuff. But for those of us who would never watch something like that, first of all, anybody calling themselves Hotep Jesus or Uncle Hotep has opened their mouth, as my mom would say, and put their brain on display. I would brand. No, I wouldn't do that, because the word Hotep, I would brand the glyph in their forehead, but the word Hotep in the Medu Neter in Egyptian hieroglyphs literally means peace. So I should probably back off of that. But my point is that you've got people now, and a mind, remember that UNCF commercial back in the 70s, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. A mind is a terrible thing to underdevelop, because now everybody with a phone or a laptop can get on social media. Anybody who wants to talk can talk. These are not thought leaders. These are people generating clicks for clickbait, nor are they conservatives. They are branders. And so finally, what you started with is all we need to know about that conversation. It's very basic. This is about money. This is about watching them. This is about generating revenue. None of them have anything to say about anything that's going to either A, impact policy, or B, change the minds of anyone who will take a minute to reflect, to organize, to study, and to act in an informed manner. So, that was a sideshow better for WWF wrestling. That's why he's talking about beating somebody's ass, which he ain't going to do.
So here's why I showed that, Erica. Because again, these are the people Fox News elevates. I just need people to understand what the whole design is, okay? Fox Nation, now they just dropped them. In no logical world would a TV executive give Diamond and Silk a show. It's a minstrel show.
That's
absolutely.
But what do they set up? You take a Candace Owens who worked with the NAACP to get a settlement from a school district. TPUSA hires her. She's now in PragerU. Trump had her at the White House. Million followers. All these stories done on her. All like this great mass movement leader of black people away from the Democratic Party. But who is elevating her?
right.
Is there anything between those two ears? No. There's a reason why she will not debate me, been running for a whole year. But she'll challenge John Legend and Don Tito, people like that. And there are people out there who say, Roland, but we should ignore them. This is why that's not that simple. Mm-hmm. Because you have to understand how they are strategically used to serve different interests. Mm-hmm. Trump does the exact same thing. That crazy, ignorant comedian, I don't know what, he ain't even funny, Terrence Williams, same thing. You gotta understand, to Greg's point, the minstrel show and the grifter show. You gotta understand how they play this whole game and how they then elevate, these are the black people we should be listening to. So therefore, how they prop them up, they do their books in their speeches, and then I think it keeps going on and on. That's why you have a Larry Elder who will write a book called Stupid Black Men.
Yes.
He ain't trying to talk to black people. He's talking to white people. He's talking to white conservatives. And that's the game that you see being played. And that's why we call it out so folks understand. And let me be clear, there are black conservatives who have on this show who are real, who do care about the black community, We might differ on some policy issues. We might agree on some policy issues. There's a long history of black people being Republicans, okay? You could talk about Jackie Robinson. You could talk about any number of people. You can talk about folks who served in Republican administrations. Bob Brown, who accompanied Coretta Scott King to pick up Dr. King's body.
Come on.
Who was on the board of the SCLC, goes from there to getting hired by Richard Nixon, and who played a crucial role in terms of driving things for black people. Just because he worked for Nixon didn't make him bad. So that happens. There are black people who worked in different administrations who've done that. Alfonso Jackson, was Secretary of HUD under George W. Bush. I know Alfonso well. Again, we might differ on some issues, but agree on some other issues. These folks, the Brandon Tatums of the world, the Candace Owens of the world, they can't even step in the same room with those black Republicans. It's understanding the game, Erica.
Absolutely, Roland, and you laid it out. What's being presented for the public is information about what his history was when he was on the police force, with the type of aggression that we saw in that video, with a muscle tight shirt on with the face of Donald Trump. So we do have to look at the minstrel show. We do have to have this type of information so that we can be even more engaged in understanding grifters and knowing that all of our skin folk damn sure ain't our kinfolk.
In congressional hearings, the minority party gets to select its own witnesses. And of all the people that Republicans could have selected, they picked Candace Owens. I don't know Miss Owens. I'm not going to characterize her. I'm going to let her own words do the talking. So I'm going to play for you the first 30 seconds of a statement she made about Adolf Hitler.
I actually don't have any problems at all with the word nationalism. I think that it gets, the definition gets poisoned by elitists that actually want globalism. Globalism is what I don't want. So when you think about, whenever we say nationalism, the first thing people think about, at least in America, is Hitler. You know, he was a National Socialist, but if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine. Problem is that he had dreams outside of Germany. He wanted to globalize. He wanted everybody to be German, everybody to be speaking German.
All right, so my first question is to Ms. Hirschenoff. Ms. Owens said, quote, if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine. The problem is that he had dreams outside of Germany. So when people try to legitimize Adolf Hitler, does that feed into white nationalist ideology?
It does, Mr. Liu. I know that Ms. Owens distanced herself from those comments later, but we expressed great concern over the original comments.
Would you like time to respond to that?
Yes, I think it's pretty apparent that Mr. Liu believes that black people are stupid and will not pursue the full clip in its entirety. He purposely presented an extracted clip.
The witness will suspend for a moment. It is not proper to refer disparagingly or to a member of the committee. The witness will not do that again. The witness may continue.
Sure, even though I was called despicable.
Witness may not refer to a member of the committee as stupid.
I didn't refer to him as stupid. That's not what I said. That's not what I said at all. You didn't listen to what I said. May I continue?
Please.
As I said, he is assuming that black people will not go pursue the full 2-hour clip. and he purposefully he cut off, and you didn't hear the question that was asked of me. He's trying to present as if I was launching a defense of Hitler in Germany, when in fact, the question that was asked of me was pertaining to whether or not I believed that whether or not I believed in nationalism, and that nationalism was bad. And what I responded to was that I do not believe that we should be characterizing Hitler as a nationalist. He was a homicidal, psychopathic maniac that killed his own people. A nationalist would not kill their own people. That is exactly what I was referring to in the clip, and he purposely wanted to give you a cut-up similar to what they do to Donald Trump to create a different narrative. That was unbelievably dishonest, and he did not allow me to respond to it, which is worrisome and should tell you a lot about where people are today in terms of trying to drum up narratives. By the way, I would like to also add that I work for Prager University, which is run by an Orthodox Jew. Not a single Democrat showed up to the embassy opening in Jerusalem. I sat on a plane for 18 hours to make sure that I was there. I'm deeply offended by the insinuation of revealing that clip without the question that was asked of me.
White nationalism, if I had to make a list again of 100 things, would not be on it. This hearing, in my opinion, is a farce, and it is ironic that you're sitting here and you're having 3 Caucasian people testify and tell you what their expertise are. You want to know what my expertise are? Black in America. I've been black in America my whole life, all 30 years, and I can tell you that you guys have done the exact same thing every 4 years.